Hey, what is up everyone? Nick here with my review for Arrow Season 5, Episode 9, What We Leave Behind. Now, I'm just going to come out and say that this is going to be a very heavy, spoiler-filled review, so if you guys don't want to know what happens this episode, because there are some pretty big reveals and just things in general going on with the story, you should probably click off this video, go watch the episode, and we can come back and discuss. So first off, the story of this episode is essentially picking up right after the Dominators crossover, where Oliver is trying to track down Prometheus and vice versa. Prometheus is now fully revealed to be working in cahoots with Evelyn, and she's basically feeding him information about all the team members and their personal identities and who to go after to make him suffer. And initially she assumes that Prometheus is going to go after Oliver to kill him, but really he wants to make Oliver suffer. He wants to take everything from his life and show him that he's just kind of this evil person that makes everyone that he encounters die or have something horrible happen to them. And really, this is probably one of my favorite episodes of this entire season thus far. It might actually be my favorite episode of this season, season 5, because it really took me back to the roots of the show. Like, it really gave me that season 1 vibe where Oliver's just going around, being a badass, just shooting arrows into people, doing some really good, groundwork, and it really, was great in that aspect. And it also, the funny thing was that this episode had clear flashbacks to season 1, actually, where Oliver's going after this guy that's been gouging people for medication. Then it turns out that he actually started this tuberculosis virus, and then he gouged the prices so that he could make money off of it. And it really just shows you the type of scumbags that Oliver used to deal with back in season 1, the people that were on his father's list that he went and killed. And that was just awesome to see, the flashbacks to season 1 and how different Oliver has now as a character, like how he's grown and progressed into becoming more of a hero and vigilante rather than just sort of like a judge, jury, and executioner, as Diggle calls him this episode. Now, some big things happen. So essentially, when Oliver is hot on the trail of Prometheus actually kidnaps Felicity's new boyfriend Billy, and there's this really interesting thing that happens because Oliver goes after them. He finds out where Billy's being held, and Billy is actually revealed to be in a Prometheus costume with his voice modulator thing playing back Prometheus's voice, and Oliver actually shoots him because at that point in the show, Oliver has gone after Prometheus to kill him. Just end it once and for all, get rid of Prometheus, done deal. Now, what he doesn't know is he actually shoots Prometheus, or he thinks he is, and it turns out to be Billy under the mask, and he's tied up, got tape over his mouth so he can't actually talk to Oliver and say, hey, it's me, Billy. And Oliver makes that call, he makes that decision, and he actually kills Billy. And it's really tragic, actually, when you think about it, because this Prometheus guy is turning out to be quite the villain, actually, playing to Oliver's fears, turning people against him, destroying the people that he cares about, their personal lives. Curtis's husband walks out on him, Diggle has issues with his family, there's just a lot of things going on in this episode. A lot of, characters are definitely at their lowest point in this episode, and it really shows on Oliver and just on the rest of the cast. And I think that it's actually nice, though, that Oliver does have someone to confide with and be friends with, his reporter friend, and that's cool and all, but I want to talk about the big reveal at the end of this episode. So I'll get into my, general review and thoughts at the end, but I gotta talk about what happens at the end of the episode, the big cliffhanger ending for this mid-season finale. So Oliver sees his girlfriend, and he goes back to the Arrow lair when no one's around. He goes on his own, goes down there, and he looks at the suits, and he sees something wrong, and it's Laurel Lance standing there. Dinah Laurel Lance, standing in the flesh, and she says, hello, Oliver. And boom, that's how you end the episode. Just amazing reveal. And of course, we don't know at this point if Laurel's actually alive, or if it's a vision that Oliver's having, or what's going on there. I'm sure questions will be answered. However, we did actually talk about a video where the producer, Wendy Miracle, did confirm that Laurel would be back from the dead due to effects of Flashpoint happening, obviously because that now exists in the Arrowverse. Flashpoint, people coming back from the dead, alternate timelines, all this sort of thing happens. It's actually canon now. So I, for one, believe that they did bring back Laurel. I think that they really looked at the show, they said, okay, what can we do for this 5th season? Because they're going all out this season, as you can tell from the episodes thus far. And they said, okay, really, what worked in season 1 and 2, and what didn't work in season 3 and 4? And in season 4, obviously the biggest controversial thing was killing off Laurel Lance. I made several videos saying that was the worst decision they've ever made at the show. It just completely ruined the mythology, and that was a huge mistake. And it seems like they're rectifying that. It seems like they're really going back to the roots of the show, doing that grounded street level approach, bringing back Laurel. All these new characters are great, and I'm all on board. I am so back on board the Arrow hype train. I can't wait for the show to come back. This episode just blew me away. Very, very much impressed me. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I love this episode through and through. Fantastic stuff on Arrow. I give it up to all the people who work on the show. Great job. I can't wait for the return back in, I believe, January. So anyways, post your thoughts on the comment section below. know what do you guys think of this climactic episode, the mid-season finale, and what are your thoughts on that big reveal. Also, if you guys are new to the channel and like this review, subscribe for more content like this. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you guys next time.